Since I posted on here. Um, a lot has changed since the last time I posted a video with me personally as well as professionally. Um, Not all good, and I don't like to say bad, but I'll say not all good, and some very much indifferent challenges have come about since my last video, but all is well. I hope you guys are well, and I just hope this video touches who it's supposed to touch. So I chose to do a blackout video because I woke up this morning. I have this thing where like between 3 and 5 a.m., no matter what time I go to sleep, I'm always awakened. And I'm aware enough to know that that's, the higher power pulling on me, so that I can connect and pray and meditate and do all of those spiritual things that I do so that I can, be the best version of myself. And yesterday, I encountered someone for the first time that um, you ever meet someone and it's like automatically, the energy is just off. Like you could just tell it's not going to be a pleasurable interaction. So I went through this yesterday with someone who was a potential client, and the energy was just off. They say, it's not sometimes messages and comments can get misconstrued via text and via email. And that's true because you can't decipher someone's tone through a text or email. But the client was very, very defensive. And to make a long story short story shorter, we did not end up meeting. And I received a text from this client, and it was very, very, very intense. It was very, very disrespectful, and it was just unwarranted. And my initial reaction, my initial thought was to react. But I'm such in a different place right now that rather than reacting, I responded. And because I didn't react and I gave a response, I think that triggered them more. I think that triggered the person more. And, you know, I don't know who this message is for. But that was a very uncomfortable interaction for me on so many levels just because I could just feel the tension straight from the rip. I could feel the tension. But me being who I am, and because I am a therapist, I understand that trauma causes people to sometimes act or behave in a way that is not always pleasant, and sometimes that can affect other people, and a lot of the times they're not even aware that their behavior is negative or toxic because it's how they've been used to operating, which is why I believe when someone is encountering you with negative energy, I believe the best way to counteract that is to not to feed into that energy. Don't give them back what they're giving, which is not always easy. I know. Please, y'all. I know. I'm living proof of that. Um, but there's a saying that, you don't spit fire with fire. So to make a long story short, but in it all, I was very, very, very proud of myself, the way that I responded. And it just got me to thinking, about just how important it is to be self-aware. It's so important to be self-aware because we are in a times where we're encountering and dealing with all different types of energies, all different types of spirits, all different types of experiences that I can honestly say they um, they can alter our energy if we allow it. And I know that this is not always easy because it's like, when someone offends you, your initial reaction is to protect and defend yourself. But what I say to that is, when you feel like when someone is engaging you with negative energy, or they're being disrespectful, or they're talking down to them, you don't have to give them that energy back. You can simply say, I don't think that this is a good, interaction. I don't feel, this is not making me feel good, and nip it in the bud, or you just don't deal with it at all. But I believe that, we are all given tests. Because I believe that on this 2 year hiatus that I've been on, on my spiritual journey, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that you cannot control people. You can only control yourself. And I believe that the way that, I believe this particular person wanted, they wanted to get a reaction out of me. To make a long story short, they wanted to get a reaction out of me, and I did not do that. I gave a response, not a reaction, and that killed them even more. I don't know who this message is for, but I want to just send a message to anyone who is being tested right now or will be tested. Lead with love, lead with emotional intelligence, because when you allow someone to come into your space and your energy and control how you respond, you're giving them the power. You're giving your power away. And that is something you never want to give anyone leverage to think that they can yo-yo you, or they can yo-yo your emotions. You are in control of your emotions. And I think that as a culture, we're taught that, emotions are good or bad. And speaking as a therapist, what I always tell my clients is there is no such thing as good or bad when it comes to emotions. Emotions just are. It's how you manage them, it's how you navigate them. So if you're angry, if someone upsets you, if someone hurts you, if someone even, you know, makes you, they make you feel some type of way, it's okay for you to have that. If it's okay for you to have that emotion of anger, that emotion of disappointment, that emotion of sadness, that emotion of, feeling like, oh, you bit at me, you barked at me, I want to bark back. It's okay. What I say to that is allow yourself to embrace that feeling, allow yourself to embrace that emotion, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. That's the message of the day. Be one with your emotions. A lot of us don't want to deal with feelings. We don't want to feel certain things. But one thing that I can guarantee you as a person and as a professional, you got to get to it to get through it. There is no healing without allowing yourself to feel and identify what is bothering you. You have to be transparent about that, because the only way you can begin to heal is to acknowledge what you're feeling. So in layman's terms, it's like if you had a bruise on your body and you constantly band-aid it instead of taking the band-aid off and letting it heal. And in that healing stage, it's going to be different experiences you have. It might hurt, it might itch. Um, it might do, you might go through an array of experiences with trying to heal that wound. But it's not gonna heal if you constantly band-aid it. You have to allow yourself to heal naturally and organically. And the only way that that can happen is by you allowing yourself to heal. And let me say this, healing is not linear. Healing is a personal journey. There is no one size fits all for healing. So don't ever let someone tell you that the way you are healing is wrong, because each of us heal at our own time and in our own way. I hope this message reaches who it's supposed to reach. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Have a good day. I am loving on y'all. Peace out.